Hi, I'm Stan Ziegert with the University of Scranton. Welcome to Ion Business. Christine Donalow is off this week. We are here with the business plan competition winners, the Great Valley Business Plan competition winners this year. We have Nadia Naismith Daly, who's the open category winner. We also have from the collegiate winners, Billy DeRozier and Michael Slacktish. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. And the business plan competition has gone on for several years, and it gives an opportunity for young entrepreneurs at college to come up with a business plan, present it to experienced business people, and kind of compete with each other for lots of funding, for lots of support. And we have a first, second, and third place winner. And congratulations on taking first place. You're with Misericordia University?
Yes.
And this has not been, I guess, your first time in the competition. You've kind of actually really learned. How many years have you done it?
Just about 4 years now. 3 in the actual competition, but 4 through the Entrepreneur Institute put on by the Great Valley Technical Alliance.
Okay, now the Entrepreneurial Institute. What can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, it's a great program that the Great Valley Technical Alliance puts on with about 13 different colleges and universities in the area, and they bring in some for lack of a better term, like industry professionals to present ideas and help develop business plans and businesses and just give a real world perspective that a lot of college students don't get necessarily from a classroom.
And that would be actually the first leg of the competition. That's like a first round, and then from there, students who are interested could go on to the second round of competition, which
Correct.
is a great business plan competition.
Yes, that's the actual competition where students prepare and present a business plan to a panel of judges.
And you're competing actually for funding.
Yes.
And space. And now tell me, you actually won, so tell me about this great business plan.
Well, it took a couple of years to figure out the competition and find a winning plan, but my partner and I, Mike Slacktish, we created Virtual Firebox, and Virtual Firebox is a compliance tool and a data storage tool for real estate industries. It's safe, secure, and convenient, and it kind of gives a new perspective to how the real estate market transacts houses these days.
So, Michael, can you tell us a little bit about, I guess you're from the real estate industry, but a little bit about your background and what this product does?
Sure. I actually own a real estate company, and Billy happened to be a client of mine, and that's how we kind of were introduced. So it was an exciting time. I was talking to Billy about some of the challenges in the real estate market in terms of storage and being compliant. And
when you say storage, you mean data storage?
I mean data storage, correct. What happens is, if anyone has ever bought or sold a house, they understand the volumes of paper that someone will go through. And how you rolled your eyes is how most people, when they go through that process, like, oh my God, look at the paper. And they typically lose it or they can't find it, and they call us to retrieve the information, and we keep this information for a period of 5-7 years. And if you can imagine, if one file is 1 inch thick, multiply that by 1,500 files, trying to find a file, and it becomes a challenge. So I was talking to Billy about that, and we just had a great dialogue and started to investigate, find out there's really a need for that, and created a platform that would help both the consumer and the industry professionals like myself with data storage.
So this would involve, I guess, converting paper into digital format? Okay, and then also securely storing it so that you can retrieve it a year from now, 2 years from now?
10 years from now.
10 years from now?
Right.
Okay, and Billy, is your background in computers or technology? Tell me about you.
Actually, my background is in management and a little bit of pre-law studies at Misericordia University. What we found was our idea had some strength behind it, so we investigated and we found a few companies out there willing to work with us in developing the software exactly what we wanted, because the stuff on the market today didn't fulfill the needs that we were looking for. And it was great because we were able to build it from the ground up with the functions and the features that we needed as a business, and from a homeowner's perspective like myself, and from a real estate agent's perspective. And that's where it came into. So my background is not in computers at all.
So when will your company start? You presented your plan. When do you start? Because you also receive, I think, location support. Where are you going to be located?
Well, we will be located up in the Twin Stacks up in Dallas, 1244 Memorial Highway. and if everything goes according to plan, we'll be launching sometime in August.
Great, so
we
that fast.
worked very hard to get this off the ground, and we don't want to miss an opportunity to launch the business.
And now, did you graduate from Misericordia, or are you still a student?
I graduated with my undergrad degrees from Misericordia, and I'm pursuing my MBA currently. I should finish sometime in the fall.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you're right off the bat, you're starting a business. You're not originally from northeastern Pennsylvania, are you?
No, I'm not. I come from Highland Falls, New York. For those who are familiar with the military academy at West Point, that's where I live. That's where I'm from.
And you just fell in love with this area?
I fell in love with the area while I went to school here, and like Mike said, he helped me purchase a home, and I actually live in the area, and I don't plan on leaving anytime soon.
Was your paperwork 2 inches or 3 inches? Or
No. I've actually lost some of the paperwork, so we really need to get this business
So you actually
going.
can talk from a customer standpoint as well as a business owner.
That's what made our partnership here very unique, because we could see from both sides of it.
And now this year there was actually a new competition, a new leg of a competition. You were the collegiate winner, and again, congratulations.
Thank you.
So much for and thank you for coming in. We also have Nadia, who is an experienced businesswoman. You actually had a company previous to this one, but this is the first leg for the open competition.
That's right.
So can you tell me, again, your experience, you had another company, I believe you sold it internationally, so again, very successful. Now you're starting a new business. What attracted you to the business plan competition?
I was actually a judge last year. In 2003, I started a company in the life sciences space, an online database for strategic and competitive intelligence around the biotech and pharmaceutical industry. And our product was sold to business development and senior executives within the biotech and pharmaceutical industry for them to find, competitive intelligence, strategic intelligence. And in 2006, we sold that company. I've known Rob. He asked me to be a judge last year for the collegiate side of things. And I stayed in touch with him because 18 months ago, I started Jujima, which is the business that I entered into the business plan competition. And reaching out to him for just various different questions and things, and being part of the business plan competition last year as a judge, he contacted me and said, why don't you enter the open category this year? And I said, well, that's very interesting to me. And he said, there's lots of benefits. There's some monetary. There's a monetary side of it. Plus, there's lots of perks that come along with it. You mentioned space, but there's lots of other benefits.
Like, what are some of the other benefits?
A lot of people within the area wanted to support the business plan competition. So, from accounting to legal to, Lamar donating billboards, newspaper. So, I think there was a lot of support from the community, from local businesses that wanted to see,
local businesses
businesses succeed. So, so I entered, and I had written a business plan anyway. My dad's always taught me if you want to be successful, you have to have a plan in place. And so the business plan was written, and I said, well, this is something I want to do for the region to promote the fact that we are a knowledge-based community. We do have wonderful talent here. So my reason for entering was really just to show the community that this is a place not only to raise a family but to also start a business, and so that was my reason for entering.
And tell me about your new business.
So for the last 18 months, Jujima is...
And what is that again?
It's Jujima, and it's named... the name is unique.
It's unique.
It's very unique, and why it's unique to me because it's named after my 3 children. So what Jujima does is we're an online platform, and we go out to conference organizers, people who are running conferences or large expositions, and we take the registration list from, if you're attending a conference, everyone attends conferences, and every professional, whatever profession you're in, at some point in life you attend a conference. So we connect people online before, during, and after the event. So as an attendee of an event, you can come online and see who else is attending, see what the who's exhibiting, what the exhibit hall looks like, get a description of the vendors, reach out to them, schedule and plan your sessions for the conference, what panels you'll be presenting, download that, export it all to your calendar, and then we have mobile applications behind it as well. So by the time you get to the event, You have one-to-one meetings set up with other attendees, one-to-one meetings set up with...
Is your background in conferences, or where does this come from?
My
This is
background's
very
not in
unique.
conferences. In my last business that I talked about, we used conferences as our distribution channel because, as I said, you want to be where your customers are, and so we always attended conferences. And in the life sciences space, this concept is not unique. The idea for biotech and pharmaceutical industry is almost matchmaking. They need to partner together. Biotechs need funding, pharmaceutical companies need innovation, and so there's something called partnering or collaboration that occurs. And there are several conference organizers that run partnering meetings. So,
I think that's a new trend in conferencing, because that's what, at least from my understanding, is that it's no longer you just go to the big trade show. You're actually looking for somebody setting up meetings in advance.
Networking. It's all about networking and finding that right person to work strategically with or collaborate with. So my husband happened to be going to a dental conference. He had his father's been in business in this area for the last 40 years, and he expanded his father's business into the dental supply market. And so he was going to a conference to meet manufacturers. And I said, well, how are you going to do that? And he said, well, I'm just going to go and hope to bump into someone. It's very random.
That's the old way.
The old way. And I said, well, why don't I contact the person running the conference and talk to them about developing a system that'll allow you to prospect ahead of time and set up one-to-one meetings so that all the heavy lifting is done and you'll get a return on the several $1,000s you're going to spend to go there. So I did, and they said, we like the idea, and I said, well, let me do this for you and have my husband's company be the sponsor of the platform. So, in front of 600 people, he was able to brand his, have a banner ad, brand his company, and really get the support he needed, which allowed him to set up, a lot of one-to-one meetings.
And allowed you to develop a whole new company.
And allowed me to develop the company and the concept. And so after that event, which was last April, I spent, the next several months developing the platform, incorporating concepts from what's happened in social networking over the last 5 years with LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter. And I said, technically what I have is a combination of all of those. So why not incorporate those concepts into my model? If you are in the life sciences industry or you're in the dental profession and you go on LinkedIn and you're trying to reach, people that are affiliated to that space, it's very hard to do. Typically in LinkedIn or Facebook, your friends and family. On LinkedIn, it's people you've met throughout your entire professional career, but nothing really strategic. And so if we could build a network or a community around events where everything is strategic and everyone's affiliated has affinity to the same space, we can sort of now grow that model into building communities around industry sectors. And so our first phase is to really accommodate make events more unique, more efficient by networking before, during, and after an event, and then to expand that concept by building these communities 24/7, 365 days a year into a online social networking platform.
And now your business is up and running.
My business is up and running. We officially incorporated in January. And I've collaborated with a group out on the West Coast called the Technology Vision Group. They have been in the conference life science space. They are the premier life science conference producers for the last 18 years. And they have a product called biopartnering.com, which for the last 7 years has been doing this in the life sciences space, but they're going to be moving that platform onto the Jujima platform. We're going to be building the next generation biopartnering.com for them. So we'll be running 13 conferences for them around the world, India, China, Brazil.
So an international company.
International
in
company located here. So anything can happen in northeastern Pennsylvania, and you can reach the world. It's a global business.
Well, let me ask you, as a judge, from judging the one-year competition, were you impressed by what you've seen from the collegiate competition, from the college kids?
Absolutely. I think that they're putting I think what the Great Valley Technology Alliance is doing is they're pushing students to think outside the box, not just inside a classroom and learning concepts. It's taking it to the next level. It's teaching them how to write a business plan, which is so important. if you're not looking at a pro forma and looking at the numbers, you don't have a business. So I like the fact that they're pushing innovation, and it allows them to mentor, the talent that we have here, and hopefully retain it. And that's important, because what we need to do is create jobs in our area. And that's, I could have went and worked for someone, but I thought, create value here, provide jobs for people, and it makes a difference for everyone. So,
Billy, can I ask you, from your years' experience, what you had to do a business plan? Like you said, add another level. Like, it's stuff that you learned beyond the classroom. What did you get out of it, as far as a business management perspective from your major?
Well, in developing the skills to write a business plan and compete in this competition, I've actually spent a number of years sitting with a few of my professors and teachers outside of the classroom, learning from their personal experiences, their war stories, if you will, in the business world. And I've learned more from them that supplement my college education, and that's what I feel has really developed my ability to write a business plan.
Also, don't you, part of the plan, or as the plan goes through, there are mentoring sessions with business professionals who will give you tips as to where they feel like your plan might be flawed or where it might need additional work or additional support?
Yeah, that's a great attribute of this competition, because you can actually sit down with these professionals. They're not actually the judges, but people who've been in real-world experiences say, listen, you're too far-fetched, or you need to refine this, you're right on the right track, this is what the judges are looking for. And that provides tons of help, especially in like the public speaking aspect or in the financials, in an area where myself and Mike were not too strong. We could find that help to develop this plan.
And Michael, let me ask you again. You've been a professional working in the real world. Did you learn things from the business plan competition that brought to light?
Absolutely. I think in business for yourself, you always are constantly learning. And it's been one of the great attributes regarding the plan is going out and meeting professionals like a Solid Cactus or Stephen Roth from prestigious law firms
with different expertise.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we show them, we share our ideas, and they really provoke thought to us and say, did you think about this? Have you thought about this aspect? So it's been a great learning tool for myself to really expand my thinking. And that's why I went back to school for my MBA at Misericordia as well.
So your buddies, your school buddies.
Yes, right. But that's what I feel that aspect of all. I would have never probably had the opportunity to meet with some great entrepreneurs without the program, and this provides direct access to those folks.
What about the support from the community? Have you felt like the community, like almost everybody rooting for you, cheering for you? Have you felt that at all?
Absolutely. When we had our pictures in the paper, immediately had a few phone calls. The following day from winning the competition, I'm sure friends, family, even businesses. Yes.
And we're at the mall at Steamtown, so again, very, very nice, very, very nice. Well, again, we wish you all the best. Now, your business doesn't actually, I guess, officially launch until August.
Until August.
Do you have a website, or do you have any information that would, like, if somebody's interested, that they can at least find out about your business? Is that up yet?
Oh, thank you. Yes, you can go to virtualfirebox.com.
What's it called?
Virtualfirebox.com.
Okay.
Just like it sounds.
All right.
No funny spelling. And that's the only means we have of
well, because you're
connecting
actually,
right now.
I think it's not officially open yet.
Yeah, we're finishing the last round of testing before we introduce it to the market, because we don't want to have a product that we can't reproduce over and over again. So sometime in August we'll be officially launched and everything will be up and running.
Okay. And Nadia, you are officially launched. So
I'm
what would be
officially
your
launched,
website or information?
JuJama.com, and hopefully I'll see you at your next conference.
Great. And now, can you spell it again, slower?
I can. JuJama.com. Julia,
Perfect.
Jake, Matthew.
Is there anything that you'd like to add before we close?
No, I want to thank you for arranging this and giving us an opportunity to talk
Thank
about
Rob
the competition.
Watts for all the.
I do want to thank
Okay.
Rob Watts. I think he's doing a great job in our area to promote entrepreneurs and to really, create opportunity for everyone.
Billy, is there anything you want to add?
Oh, I would just like to thank the Great Valley Technical Alliance for putting on this competition year after year, and everybody that's just been involved, especially the judges and the professionals that donate their time and effort. to this competition.
Thank you so much. Thank you for our guests. Thanks hosting from the business plan competition winners. We have Nadia Naismith-Daly, who is the open winner, and then for the collegiate winner, we have Billy DeRozier and Michael Slacktish. This is Stan Zingrat with the University of Scranton, and this is Eye on Business.